Jesus Christ. Welcome to Coffee Havoc number 2. This is Chit Chat number 2. So I'm going to talk about some shit that's been happening on TikTok. And native TikTok to be specific. So if you don't have TikTok, if you're not aware of TikTok, TikTok has been having a issue with native TikTok versus the alphabet community over the painted hand over the mouth. There is a young lady, I'm going to call her young because I'm assuming that she's younger than me, who wanted proof that native face painting the hand over the mouth didn't belong to natives and that it was legit belonging to the world. Well, this argument went on, it's still going on native TikTok with some lady who's not indigenous. And so I made a video. I have at least 7 likes. Don't worry, I'm going to take this back out my hair by the time I go to bed. But anyway, if I decide to do a Spider-Man TikTok, I need this. But anyway, so I was debating it, and I said, you know what? There's more to this, and this lady wants proof. So I got a video and made the proof. So let me speak to y'all who are not indigenous, because I'm half indigenous. I can speak on this, and I will speak on this, and if you don't like that, that will be a you problem, not a me problem. So indigenous warriors have always used war paint. There are records and pictures of indigenous warriors with the hand painted on their face, on their chest, on their arms. Not sure about the legs, but I guess it depends on what tribe and what their native regalia looked like. Okay? But there have been natives that have had faces painted with the hand before the MMIW movement did the red hair. And I had to tell this lady, 10,000 years before Columbus or Christopher Columbus ever made it to the, that was like a loose thread. We know not to pull that, don't we, Balkan Skull? Anyway, there's been evidence that war paint and handprints have gone hand to hand or hand in hand with indigenous warriors for at least 2 or 3 centuries before Christopher Columbus made it to the Americas. Okay? Now, as far as which tribes wore the war paint, I'm at a loss there. I can't honestly tell you which tribes and how many tribes, but I do know that war paint has been a native thing for a very, very, very long time. And so hopefully this stops the fight between the natives and the LGBT community so that we can all find a peaceful way of solving that shit. So, when you think about it, if natives was wearing this war paint before non-natives ever saw it, almost every indigenous person to their lands, especially natives, have had, and by natives I mean Native Americans, have had war paint. There's either a hair or a thread somewhere. Sorry, y'all. It's annoying me. And so that being said, even Aborigines from Australia and New Zealand, maybe there's a flying bug in here or something. It was on my knuckle a second ago. Well, let's hope it's not a tick. Anyway. Okay, we're going to pull this damn thread. No, we're not. We're not going to pull that thread. We're going to cut this thread with fingernail clippers so that my shirt doesn't come apart. Well, that worked. Didn't work the way I planned it, but it definitely worked. Anyway, if the Aborigines from New Zealand and Australia also wore paint and did tattoos, the Native Americans of Canada, which is the indigenous First Nations, all of North America, Central America, and South America all had war paint. Okay, and some of them did use the hand. And how else did they get the paint on? Because they didn't have paint brushes. So I don't know if they had paint brushes. I might have overreached there. But the fact of the matter that they had handprints on them in paint for war. You know, that should be more than enough to clarify to people who are not native that this not only belonged to MMIW, but they also had handprints everywhere else before MMIW came to be as big as it is. And FYI, you need to support MMIWGNS because that is Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls, and Two Spirits. Do not ask me what Two Spirit means because I have no freaking idea. Alright? I'm still reconnecting. So there are some things that I still have to learn for Indigenous TikTok. Now, on a side note, there's another young lady who reached out and she was getting some shit from other Indigenous people because she dressed as Pocahontas, but she's also Indigenous. So a lot of natives have come at her for dressing as Pocahontas. And I explained to her, I don't dress in native stuff because I don't have any native regalia, and I'm part Cherokee, which is the go-to race that everybody's part Cherokee. So I explained to her that it does offend some people, but so that you can get people to leave you alone, dress up as Elisa Maza. And she's like, who's Elisa Maza? So Elisa Maza is part Hopi and part black. Her daddy being an Indian, her mother being African American. So, if you haven't watched Gargoyles, you should go watch Gargoyles. It'll be worth it. Trust me, it'll be worth it. It is the best Disney cartoon ever in existence. There's animals in it, and they don't sing. That being said, I am Echo Fan Greg Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.